Hello and welcome to Toffee TV. This is the Sunday supplement with myself, Paul Nealon, and I'm here to speak about Everton. Another defeat, a third one in a row, 3-1 defeat to Manchester United. Talking points in terms of their lineup: Bernard coming in for Richarlison, which, you know, did he stick with Iwobi? What way was he going to do with that? Look, I couldn't really fault Bernard, especially in the first half, so I wasn't that surprised when I see Bernard coming in there. And previously he had worked well with Luca Dean on that left hand side, but then just stopped doing that. You know, they did have a good relationship at one point, but for some reason that just didn't really go to the next level. It kind of fizzled out. And then we had Jordan Pickford come back in for Olsen, who I thought had a good debut and probably didn't deserve to lose his place. But look, that's just the way Carlo has it at the moment, isn't it? So that's kind of the big news there. Seamus Coleman was back, James was back, you know, Mason Holgate was back as well, which was good to see him get back. And it obviously speaks highly of him how much Carlo wanted to get him back so quick. Like, it's a bit of a rapid rise for him to kind of be straight into the team, because, you know, you go back to even the start of last season, he wouldn't have been a mainstay. And, you know, with Carlo there, he seems to really like him, and he gives us that pace. So if we do need someone to kind of recover, he will give us that. But looked a bit off it yesterday. A few players did. Seamus looked a little bit off it as well. I thought James looked totally off it. I actually thought that was his worst game for us. And I thought Decore was awful. And, you know, Sigurdsson, I mean, what? Come on. What can you say about him? He's just a ghost in midfield, non-existent. I thought Alan was very, very good, and I thought he done his best. But United were kind of getting at us early on, and we absorbed the pressure quite well and hit them on the counter. A great goal by Bernard through the legs. I think it was of Wan-Bissaka, and, you know, right in the corner. De Gea couldn't get near. It was a great finish, very, very intelligent play by Bernard, and he has that in his locker, but just doesn't produce it enough, and that's why he hasn't been in and around the Brazil squad or the Everton squad, because he hasn't been producing that level of performance in which we know he can. I know he's had mental health issues and stuff like that. That's been, you know, broadcasted already, but like, wish he could just do it a bit more consistently, and he'd probably be in the team. Because the biggest problem that we have, and it's very obvious, is that when Richarlison isn't playing, we are just not the same team. There was some stat where since he's arrived at the club, we haven't won a game without him, and it shows, because he just brings so much to the team in terms of his goals, his work rate. He's up and down that left hand side, and if he plays up front, he's hassling up front as well. So I think he's a massive miss, and I hope nothing happens now with the international break, and I hope he is back. So please God, none of the players get injured and they come back. But I mean, United just kept to their task. They were coming into this game on, you know, huge pressure for Solskjaer and his job. But Fernandes, who reminds me very much of Luis Suarez, I don't know where it's that goofy look on his face, but he's the type of player that we probably need. A match winner, and can turn the game on its head. And he scored an absolutely fantastic header. I thought Seamus could have probably closed down Luke Shaw. I almost said Lucas Shaw. Luke Shaw, and could have probably got tighter to him and just prevented the cross maybe. But Fernandes arrives in almost like Ronaldo, like Cristiano Ronaldo, and fires home a really good header right into that top corner. I don't think Pickford could have done anything about it. Then Marcus Rashford makes a run in the box, not tracked. Sigurdsson's left there pointing at him, has let him run in there, and doesn't track his man. And Rashford runs in, Fernandes crosses it, and it looks like it goes straight in, but he may have got the slightest of glances. But anyway, it's a goal. Pickford can't do anything about it. It's gone in off the post, and we're 2-1 down. And for some reason, whenever these players, we weren't in good form anyway, but when they're in really bad form, we never seem to beat them, unless David Moyes is their manager. But we don't seem to beat them in games. Like, I remember, I think it was last season when we played them and they were in bad form, and they battered us, and we seem to just bottle it against them. I don't think they're that great. I think Fernandes makes them a better team, yes. I do think Rashford and a few others are very good, but I look at our team, like Decore in midfield, brutal. Like, anytime he gets near the box, he absolutely shits himself. And he had chances throughout the game, and I think Coleman set him up for a good chance and it blazed it over. And James just doesn't look the same player as he was at the start of the season. I don't know, is he getting found out, or is he fit, or what's the story with him? But hopefully after an international break that a lot of these players I'm mentioning can come in. But I thought Alan, he was everywhere, breaking up play, and you could see him having a go with the rest of the players to say, like, what are you doing? Get up the field. I remember he took a free kick off James, and he was saying to him, get up the field. Stop trying to take free kicks in our own half and get up the field. And I like that about Alan, is that he gets stuck in, but he looks like a leader. And I think he's the only one who can kind of come off the pitch with his head held high. We had a couple of scares, obviously the Pickford again. He makes a save, but what I noticed, and I know BT are very biased and they don't like to give Everton anything, and they were on their agenda against Pickford again yesterday when Maguire comes in. But I think Maguire actually pushes him before he lands, so he ends up dropping the ball. And I think that's what Pickford was complaining about to the ref. And then obviously got a bit of a kick, 2 kicks even from Pickford and Michael Keane, so he got a bit of a double whammy, but it wasn't given for a penalty, even though the VAR had looked at it. So we got away with it, I think, there a little bit. But I mean, I do think he did push him as well. So if you go back and watch it, he does actually kind of really puts his hand on him a little bit. And with Pickford's momentum, I think he was trying to keep it in play as well, and ended up bouncing. Anyway, he kicked it over anyway, so it's not really a big deal. We tried to press on. Wobie came on, done decent. Probably the best little cameo he's done for a while. I know he came on and set up against Newcastle, but he was much more effective against United. And but I mean, very little positives to take out of the game yesterday. And I suppose it is a good time to be going away for an international break. A couple of players might be able to get some game time. I don't know whether it'd be worthwhile Seamus even playing for Ireland, to be honest with you. He might come in against England or something like that. But the Nations League games, I wouldn't be, unless his kind of role is to play maybe Matt Doherty in front of him, I wouldn't like to see Seamus being a bombing on fullback, because I feel as though his body won't be able to hold up as much. And I think that was evident, because he was doing a lot, helping out James against Brighton and stuff like that. And then that was when he got the injury out, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, I don't think he should be getting too much game time. Neither with James as well. I hope that, he can come on and make a difference for Colombia, but not to be, running himself into the ground and getting an injury and then come back and he's not available, because we need to have our best players available, because the players that come in ultimately are not good enough. And I think that's shown. I think Sigurdsson should be off on his bike. Himself and Gomez, I mean, between the two of them, they're just ghosts in midfield. They're horrific. Last month, Decore's been awful. He needs to step up his game big time, because I think he does have moments. But for me, all I'm seeing from him is athleticism. And athleticism isn't going to win you games. You need to have quality and athleticism. I think he has it in his locker, so I'm hoping that he does it soon. But then obviously the last counter-attack of the game, because we've been pushing on, they score, Cavani. It always seems to be the case that strikers of other teams, and more often than not United, their strikers always score their first goal against us. I don't know what it is. I was only talking to a guy there the other day, and I was saying, I bet you Cavani will score. I almost said Falcao, because I think Falcao scored against us as well for his first goal a few years back. So, and he wasn't, amazing for them either. But we seem to always be the team that someone scores their first goal against. But yeah, it's Sunday. It's a Sunday supplement, and yeah, I'm still frustrated about us. We look a shadow of the team that we were at the start of the season, but hopefully an international break we can rejuvenate, we can come back and hopefully start getting some points back on the board, because we need it. And yeah, let us know your thoughts in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe to Toffee TV if you want more videos from me, especially this week because it's International Week. Check out Irish Football Fan TV, and there's lots of content on there, especially International Week. So I'll chat to you over there. If not, I'll see you after the international break. Take care, guys. All the best.